guys, this is Donna Jones for Spotlight, and we're here at the renowned Howard Theater, where we're getting a chance to talk to the incomparable Rakim. How are you?
Peace, all right. Pretty good after the show out here in D.C. All right.
I know, just finished off the stage. How do you feel?
Oh, pretty good. You know, D.C. know how to do what they do. You know what I mean? The hip-hop vibe is crazy out here, so it was a little easy for me to do what I had to do. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. So talk to us about your current project and what you're working on now.
Right now, I'm working on a Paid in Full anniversary album. You know what I mean? It's been 25, 26 years in the making as far as, you know, my career. But I'm trying to put that out somewhere in the summertime, and then we got another album coming out shortly after that. So just trying to, you know, stay focused, stay out on the road, you know, get this love from out on the road. Me and my DJ 33 from Chicago, you know what I mean? We out here just, you know, sponging it up right now.
Right. So what would you say has been your most defining moment in your career?
That's a good question. I guess I gotta go back to when they first started drawing the greatest MC ballads, you know what I mean? And to be, you know, on top of that list kind of put everything in perspective for me, you know what I mean? You know, the road that I took in hip hop. You know what I mean? I tried to, you know, try not to, you know, I don't want to say sell out, but I tried to not go pop and keep it somewhat, you know, underground, and to get that accolade kind of, you know, put it on perspective and made it work well.
And you're an icon to a generation. How does that make you feel?
Honestly, I try to stay humble, and, you know, I understand the love that I get, and you know what I'm here to do. But you know, I just try to stay humble with it, man, and you know, make sure that I'm handling it the right way, so I don't get the big head, and you know, I can still do what I do. But you know, it's a blessing that I got these accolades and these titles. I'm gonna try to do the best I can with it.
Absolutely. If you were to look back at your career and everything that you've done thus far, would you say that you're proud of your body of work?
I'm gonna have to say yeah, because you know it's gotten me to this point. You know, it's not many rappers that's been in the game for 26 years. Number one, still able to perform, and number two, still able to do albums. You know what I mean? It's kind of rare in hip hop. So, you know, I got to be proud of that and recognize, you know, what I did and why I'm accepted. You know what I mean? Otherwise, I kind of, you know, lose track of what I'm doing and you know what I mean? But it's a blessing that, you know what I mean, it's, you know, open arms when you know, wherever I go. So it's a good thing.
Definitely. And you're definitely a gentleman that has swag and style, and, you know, which we all love.
Thank you. Even
the bad boy image, which we definitely love. What's a side of you that other people don't get to see?
Well, they don't get to see the father, you know what I mean? You know, I got kids, and you know, it means more to me than anything to make sure that my foundation is secure, you know, first and foremost. You know what I mean? It's you know, it's really what makes me me, because it's what makes me write like I write. You know, it's what makes me think like I think. So, you know, I owe it to my family, you know what I mean, for keeping me grounded and letting me know what's important. And, you know, when I speak to the people, it gives me more of a, you know, universal, you know, idea, man, because everybody, you know, at the end of the day, we all got families. You might be a rapper, you know what I mean? You might be a hardcore rapper. But when you go home, you got kids to be daddy, and you bend down and you like, oh yeah, so knock it off, man. I mean, this is, you know, this is real talk, man. And the thing is, you know, 80% of us, you know, go home to kids, man. And at the end of the day, that's my reality. So that's what kind of keep me grounded and, you know, able to speak to people like I do. Like my man 33, he, you know what I mean, can't wait to get home, man, and his kids run up in his arms, man. That's what it is, man.
Absolutely. Now, everyone listens to your music. Who do you listen to?
My wife.
I love it.
You know what I mean? It's beautiful music, man, you know what I mean? But I'm a classic dude. I love listening to the, you know, classic R&B, man. Like, you know, you come in my house any day. I got the Serato set up and I'm spinning old joints, you know what I mean? It's therapeutic to me. It's what I grew up on, you know what I mean? And it, you know, through all the madness, I can, you know, sit there and listen to a joint and kind of take me back to where I was when things was a little more simple. And it just helps me, you know, figure things out, man. So I'm just a 70s classic music lover.
And speaking of when things were simple, you've been around, you know, long enough to see the change and the growth and maybe the setbacks in hip-hop. How do you feel about where things are now and the state of hip-hop?
Well, you gotta look at it from, you know, overall standpoint. You know, hip-hop is a lucrative business right now.
Absolutely.
You know, like, I can't do nothing, you know, in the house, or, you know, I can't look at TV. I can't do nothing without seeing something that's hip hop influence.
Right.
Commercials, and you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So it's letting me know that, you know, the downhill, you know, snowball effect is working. So, you know, it's a couple you know, tragedies in the midst, but you know what I mean? We got this thing rolling, man. It's becoming a genre now. And it is what it is. We get a little flack from some you know, creative, you know, our creative
entities.
Yeah, but right. You know what I mean? It's, you know, it's young in a lot of places, and, right. And you know, it's like it was young in the Bronx years ago when everybody was hip hop, the heavy. You know what I mean? It's young in other places, but it's lucrative, man, and we gotta enjoy that, and hopefully, you know, they'll knock down the barriers, and you know, it won't just be, you know, a young genre. Right now, you know, if you over a certain age, you consider old school, man. So hopefully we'll knock that barrier down and you know, everybody can make good music.
Absolutely, and I think that's definitely important. And you know, you are as relevant today as you were, you know, years ago, and you continue to progress and you continue to, you know, change, and to be able to stay where you are is absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for talking with us.
No doubt. Thanks
this
for
is Donna Jones for Spotlight with Rakim.